Hello, everyone. The uptrend continues to move along quite smoothly. What is interesting is that I watched a presentation from Cornerstone Capital, large hedge fund, today, 58-minute video, and the two individuals that are very experienced in this market are still very bearish on this tape. Do not believe the rally, believe we're going to fail. So that kind of sentiment is why I believe we continue to see this market rally higher and higher despite the below average volume. It just appears that nobody's embracing this rally. And there's other market wizards that do not agree with this rally. I know for a fact Tom Basso and Peter Brandt both are not happy with the way the rally is moving along. However, my personal holdings, my long scans and the signals that I continue to get completely give the exact opposite. Before we get into that, though, we can see on the New York Stock Exchange, we had a bit of a reversal off the intraday highs, but still finished the day higher. Volume was heavier. Technically, to me, this is a sign of churning. So today's session is a churning session for the overall market. It's basically thanks to metal stocks. You can see EXK here, silver, just a lot of spinning tops today. Thinking of some of the names that I saw, Sand, AKG. I saw a lot of names just kind of spin out today, and that's always a sign of a sector that needs to at least pull back, consolidate its gains. I don't know if it means that it's over necessarily, but I know that a lot of these names have just come too far, too fast, and they're going to need to consolidate. So despite the overall churning in the market, it was basically just, I guess, concentrated in the silver metal related gold stocks, and I didn't see much more profit taking elsewhere. I mean, I did see it, I guess, in the REITs. We're long STOR. You can see that had kind of a nasty pullback, but overall it's still trending above the 20 and 50-day moving average, so that's my sign to hold on. Volume was lower today. But, another name along QTS, it lost its max green bop down here a little bit, but it's still holding above most recent support with lower volume. So nothing too ugly yet there. Seems like it was all related to the metals, but bottom line is market still looks good. The IYT was up today. The Russell 2000 was up today. Yeah, volume was missing overall in the market, but what's new? I still continue to get tons of stocks that just flag for signals. And first off, I had 0 intraday sell stops hit. I have 0 end-of-day sell signals. So despite today's churn day, like I said, not that bad. And now let's just go look at some of the stocks that I'm watching. Sorry, I'm going to make my chart smaller again because this is just what I fell in love with from 1996 to 2008. It really helped me find good stocks because it really reduces the volatility, what I see in these names, overall. So let's just go and go there. First, the ones I'm passing on. PPBI, high quality can slim stock, one of these thin names, so unless it had max green bop and huge volume on that move today, not going to take it, but still you're going to want to keep an eye on this. Also, BLOX off the lows. This is a 99 EPS stock, big sales, big earnings growth. I have MarketSmith up, but I don't think I'm going to bring it up for this one just yet, but huge growth overall. Also, I flagged AC. Nothing too great here, but, nice solid move. Like I said, if it would have moved up to max green bop, sure, I'll take it. But without max green bop, a surge in everything, I'm going to go ahead and pass here as I'm fully invested, and I just have too many stocks to pick from. UWTI, nice off the lows, up a little bit too much intraday for me to take, plus bopped it and surged enough today. So I'll be passing on that one also. HBCP, if you remember, we were long this name, I think back here somewhere. God, I don't even remember. But at bottom line, it shook us the hell out. And look at this move in 2016. So despite all the pocket pivot point signals, today's move, I have absolutely no interest in it, but I just want to show it to everybody. And then Seco, nice breakout today, surge in volume, bop, and price. Just to extend it, obviously, so I don't want to take that one at all. SBLK, beautiful surge in volume today. Price closing at the high of the day after opening at the low of the day. This is a signal, like if I wasn't fully invested right now, I would probably take this signal even though BOP didn't surge to max green, simply because for the potential reward. I mean, even let's say that it even just doubles to $2, I do not risk much, as my clearly final cut loss would be at 91. So I risk about 10% to gain 100%. I'll take 10 to 1 any day on a trade idea. So SBLK though, for now, going to pass on it thanks to how invested I am. And then look at Key W here. Beautiful. Big accumulation off the February lows, tight price action, low volume. Now it's starting to move higher the past 2 days on heavier volume right off its 200-day moving average. Looks very, very, very bullish to me. And then probably the best one I'm passing on this evening, once again, like I said, just have too many stocks to choose from. YGE. I would be taking YGE tonight if it would have fulfilled everything I wanted it to do, and the one thing it didn't do. So BOP surge is good, not great. Volume surge is good enough because it's a pocket pivot point signal along with all these pocket pivot point signals since it's January lows, low volume on the pullbacks. Why I'm not taking it once again is because I'm fully invested, heavily on margin. Not sure what I'm doing with that margin account. I have to go over it. I only keep my cash account open intraday. So YGE isn't going to be able to be put in there. And I just don't even want to mess with it because the biggest flaw that it has. So it closed at 520 today. If it would have closed at 524, I'm good to go because that's above yesterday's high a day. It didn't necessarily need to close above 525, 526. Obviously, if it would have closed above 526, that would have been ultimately preferred. Got up to 525 today. If it would have closed above 523, though, that would have been good enough. The fact that it closed at 520 and it doesn't, it's not good enough. 520 close would have been good enough if that volume surge would have been bigger, and especially if BOP would have gone to max green. Then I would have been interested in it. But as it is, going to pass on YGE. So obviously, with all these stocks that I'm showing you, I'm still saving the best for last. Setting up in buy stop areas, Baidu and Ctrip. Ctrip is a perfect speculator scan stock. Baidu, once it breaks out above this handle area, will become a perfect speculator scan stock. But this is a beautiful consolidation pattern in Baidu. Look at the extremely low volume here as it builds out this right side in consolidation handle pattern. And Ctrip, you know, it's not perfect volume wise, but price wise doesn't get much tighter than that. And this kind of handle that it's forming, it's kind of a low handle overall, but volume's below average, so this would be a cheater like breakout level to buy. But same with Baidu, and if there's a hint that they can go, our Alibaba, which we are long, broke out today up 2.20%. So the market still looks good, and that's why we have new long positions. We have 3 of them, 3 higher quality long positions. One is kind of sketchy because it's an ETF and it's thin, but we'll get to that. The first one is going to be BSFT. Now, what's interesting about BSFT is that I'm a huge fan of this stock. Extremely high quality CanSlim name. I was going to set buy stops above 41.25, but I didn't because there's just so much to pick from that I can continue to wait on an end-of-day basis to make sure it breaks out. Had I done that, I would have been filled probably around 41.26, 27, and I'd have a loss now. But I still like the pattern. I don't like the way BOP is going, but this is a high-quality CanSlim stock, so I really don't care. This stock could easily consolidate for a few days, have the BOP go the other way, and then just burst out and break out higher with that sales and earnings growth and profit margin, return on equity that it sports, and then BOP will zoom back up to a heavier green level. But for now, I got a pocket pivot point signal. 41.22 isn't a breakout above 41.25, but it is a close above the previous day's high day. That pocket pivot point signal, with it being so near the 50 200-day moving average, and then having that 10 above the 20 with the price touching the 20, it's good enough. So BSFT is a go. It's only in the CanSlim scan, so 2% for BSFT. Then there's LOGM. LOGM, huge reversal off its February lows, extremely tight price action, lower volume during this entire consolidation time, and then after it started to move higher again in April and heavier volume, green BOP came back in, lower volume pullback for about 3 days, and now it's starting to move higher again with heavier volume each day. You got back-to-back pocket pivot point signals, back-to-back days where BOP has increased and gone green both days, and it's just right off the 50-day moving average. And if you look, you've got the 10 and the 20 all coiled in 5 on top of each other with all touching price. So LOGM is a very low-risk long here. Let me get up close on it because I like to use Zoom 4, but Zoom 6 might get me a closer look at it. In Zoom 6, you can see here, right at 50-day moving average, we only risk down to the 47.36 level before we're wrong. And then the speculative name of the evening, but it's a high-quality name because it's an ETF, is EGPT. This is a play on Egypt. Huge volume surge, huge BOP surge to max green BOP, and a breakout, but it's thin, limit orders only, and only 1%. Beautiful chart though.